yours, and yours, and yours, and yours, and everyone in this room has talent. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how each of you can bring that uniqueness to Periscope and have your voice be heard. But before we do that, we have an experts, a panel here for you, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves to you.
Oh, am I going now? Sorry. Hi, guys. First off, thanks for coming into this room. My name is Nicole Lopez. I am 27 years old, and I scope from Los Angeles, California. So I recently, yeah, I would throw it up. I don't know if that's like a gang thing. But, so I recently moved to Los Angeles to pursue my career entertainment business. I originally went there because I was going to be in a reality show. So when I went there, I was super excited and super stoked, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool, I can't wait. But then came the end to that reality show because I did not get it in the final cut. So after already living in LA, I was like, what the heck? What just happened? After like a million interviews, I was like, I thought I had it in the bag. Like, what the heck happened? So then I decided, okay, I'm gonna stay in LA. So I stayed in LA, and in the midst of that, my brother goes, hey, I found this thing called Periscope. And he goes, and I think you would be pretty good at it. So he's like, you're pretty entertaining, you know. I mean, after all, for some reason, this network of the show picked me out of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So he's like, I think you could use this for your, investment in your career. So I thought, hey, what the heck, why not? And when I first used it, I was like, whoa, like, what is going on? I was like, all I see is me. Where are all these people coming from? And I think there was like 10 people that watched me, and I was like, this is just not enough people. So then I started doing funnier and crazier things. So I started my own reality show on Periscope. So I'm like, hey, you know what, network? You don't have to give me a show. I will make my own. I almost ate the mic right now, oh my gosh. But anyway, so that's how I started it. That's how I started it, and that's what I do. So I showcase a lot of stuff that I do in the industry, auditions, acting, all those things in LA. And I keep it fun, productive, and really funny. So I'm a pretty goofy person. I don't know if you can kind of tell. But yeah, so come on and follow me. And my handle is @TheNicoleLopez. Because I'm not just Nicole Lopez, right? I'm the Nicole Lopez. No, the other ones were actually taken. So yeah, go ahead and follow that one. And I would love to see you guys on there. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Woo! All right, hi guys. I'm Carrie Elimelech, also known as PassTheBananas on Periscope. I actually just found out about Periscope, not just, that's a lie. I found out about Periscope in June, so I kind of hopped on the bandwagon a little bit after everybody, but I am a vocalist, graduate of Berklee College of Music in Boston, and and I'm a voice coach. I do piano lessons as well, and so I actually had one of my students' moms bring Periscope into the lesson to scope her daughter with me, you know, and like so that they could see it live, you know, like her family could see it live. And I'm like, what is that? Like I was like a bug attracted to light. I was like, I need that thing. Yeah. And so she was like, it says Periscope, and I just tried it, and like instantly within the first like month, within the first week, I had like so many like supporting followers, and just like it was amazing. And so it's been such a blessing. I've been asked to be on Pass the Talent multiple times with Minnie Jen, Scope Stars with Jon, and it's just been amazing. It's been incredible to be able to showcase like what I love to do, and I have my passion. My passion is singing, my passion is performing, and I'm going to be doing it anyway. I'm going to be sitting in my room doing it anyway, and so why not do it in front of a bunch of people, and instead of my performance just floating around the air, it lands on every single one of you guys. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And so it's this connection, and it's just the music community is amazing. Amazing on Periscope. I mean, we got Season and Snare sitting here. We got Fontaine in here. We got, I mean, they're coming here to support the musicians here. We got Vicky Natali over here. So, I mean, there's just the music. Who do we have? Do we have more? Do we have more? I can't see. Alex. Where's Alex?
Dina.
I can't see him. I can't see him. There he is. We got David. We got the Periscope. So it's just been such an amazing way to build a community and get a following. And I actually recently got over a vocal injury, and to be honest, I hadn't been performing, and Periscope was what made me start performing again. Yes. Was because I was like, I can't go, I can't do a 4-hour gig, I can't, you know what I mean? I can just hop on my phone, I can do it for a half hour here, 15 minutes there, you know, like whatever on my schedule, and if my voice is feeling okay, and it's been perfect. It's such an amazing platform. So, pass the bananas, guys. Follow me. Yeah, come on, clap. Let's keep going. Woo! I had a broken mic. Come on, man.
You guys, you're gonna have to pull this out of them a little bit. You know, these are shy individuals, so bear with us.
Very shy. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Jason Stolken. I am a comedian. I write and perform topical news jokes like you'd see on Late Night, Fallon, Kimmel, all those shows. I've actually had a lot of overlap with Fallon's writers, so it's kind of cool to write similar jokes to those guys. Up until an hour ago, I'd never performed publicly in front of people. Wow. So I did some stand-up. It was awkward. It was fun. It was amazing. And actually, thank you. And actually, you know, I had an epiphany. Things are live, things happen. I'm like, okay, well, I promised my audience I would scope the first time I do stand-up. I did. It was awkward. And yes. So, it was awkward, but I told them I would share it with them. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to bring them along on the journey. They can watch me grow. You know, it's like doing clubs with your local audience, but I'm just doing it globally, and they're going to come watch. So that's what I'm going to do. I also do impressions. We have a lot of fun together. Smeagol, which everybody begs me to do all the time.
Do it.
Yes.
Please do it. Please do it. Please do it.
Where was it? We need so precious.
Wait, were you actually Smeagol?
No,
in the movie?
No, people. So actually, a lot of people come in and they're like, "You look like Neil Patrick Harris, Gordon Ramsay, Tim Robbins, Jason Bateman." I'm like, "Whoa!" Yeah, and so I have a lot of fun with my audience, and what I want to be able to do is bring that fun that I have with them. I want to be able to bring that on stage, and it's what I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid, is entertain people, and I have a lot of fun. And Periscope has actually brought me out of my fear of speaking in front of people. This is different. I'm on a panel. It's not weird, but Periscope has really helped me bring my talent to people that I would never be able to meet in real life. Well, some of you here, obviously, but you know, around the world. What? How did your joke go? Your joke killed. Yeah. I wrote it. Justice approved. Justice approved. Yeah. We did. That's right. So I'm very excited to be here. But yes, at Jason Stolken, go follow me if you want to have fun.
And did you guys hear that? You guys would not see Jason in public if it wasn't for Periscope. Periscope has brought this talented individual to you with all of his talent that otherwise would have just been in Colorado, up in a cabin. I don't think you're in a cabin.
In a cabin.
Oh my gosh.
Next to a giant marijuana field. It's amazing.
Yes, right?
So you're in like Northern Cali then?
John.
I'm Jon Jaques, 23 years old. I started performing magic when I was 6 and turned professional at age 10. By 12 was doing about 250 shows a year around the world. You know, so a lot of years of practice went into what you guys see on Periscope, and it's really just changed my life entirely. I was working a full-time job in advertising here in New York City, San Francisco before that, and on, you know, right around June, decided to quit my job to pursue what I love, which is performing, making people smile, and that's what I'm all about. That's what got me into magic at 6 years old. It's the interaction with that audience and the ability to just brighten people's day. And so everything I do on Periscope, I like to tie back to that mission, which is really fun for me. So started broadcasting on May 15th actively, and it's been a wild ride. The opportunities that have come about because of Periscope have been unimaginable in such a short period of time, which is really cool. And I've met some wonderful people because of it. So thanks for all the support. Another thing that I do, I've actually had the privilege of hanging out with a lot of these guys on Periscope with this Scope Star show that I run every Tuesday at 8:30. It's a group effort to pull it off. It's a lot of time and hours go into it. People don't get paid. They do it for the attention and because they love what they do. So we've been able to showcase dozens and dozens of performers from around the world. Some of them trying Periscope for the first time live, which is really cool. So excited to talk more.
Yeah. I like that story. I like that I quit my job and followed my passion story. It's good. My name's Lenny Jacobson. Thank you. I'm an actor from Los Angeles, California. I've on a show called Big Time in Hollywood, Florida. I used to be on a show, Nurse Jackie, and some other TV credits and stuff like that. I found Periscope actually in New York. We were doing some promotion for the show on like March 28th, so it was pretty close to the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And we got into a van and we were going somewhere, and one of my co-stars was like, I'm in a Periscope. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, put on your phone. So, and then we looked at his thing and nothing showed up. And then I put on mine, and all of a sudden there was like 17, 20, 100 people. And they're like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're on a TV show, and we're driving through New York. And like, show us New York. And then we started talking to our driver and just goofing off. And it was this idea that we were doing a live show from the van when people from like Turkey were there. They were so polite on day 4. They were. And it just, I think I grew up, I know I grew up an only child, and the idea that I had a phone, that I could do my phone and just do whatever the hell I wanted to as I grew up, slowly like has taken over my world. So we used it at the beginning to promote the show, but once that kind of died down a little, I realized that I needed this outlet, or else I would lose my mind, I think, at this point. And so I do a show. I don't really know what my Periscope is. People have been asking this week, what do you do? And I'm like, I can't really describe it. It's a little bit like, it's kind of like, I like to say it's the Howard Stern of Periscope, where you just do whatever you want. And sometimes it's real stuff about like problems that people have. We've done like scopes about depression and anxiety, and that's like amazing. And then sometimes, like last night, we just goofed off for 35 minutes, and by the end, I have no idea what we did. So it's fun though. Lenny Jacobson is my my handle.
Not open boobs?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. This is the sticker I got for the previous thingy. So that's me.
Awesome.
So as you guys can see, when I tell you that we brought you experts about showcasing talent, we most definitely have. But what I want to focus on, and we're really going to dig into the meat and potatoes now, is you all happen to be performing or literary or visual artists, primarily I think in this group, performing. But talent is very subjective. So when you're speaking, and if you take away your personal talents and your personal experience on scope, what is talent? What would you describe as talent across the board?
Well, for me personally, I think that most people would, for most people would describe it as artists and music or anything like that. That would consider being art a talent. But for me personally, I think just being able to have, like I would say, when I started it was like 10 people, and now it's hundreds of people going into my scope. So the fact that being a talent of people wanting to engage in there and keep coming back to be a consistent viewer, that's a talent, because you're gaining people's trust to come watch you. I mean, they could do anything else in the day. They could watch any of these people, or all of us at once, you know. I hope they could do that. I wish they could do that. I know. Right? But, you know, they choose to go onto your scope, and they choose to bring you to their world, in their homes, their jobs, wherever they are. And that's, to me, talent, because the capability of bringing them into your world and you bringing them into theirs, it's just absolutely crazy. So I think just having the engagement, bringing people listening to you and trusting you enough, that's a talent.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say, Lenny? What do you describe as talent?
I think it's anything that you're passionate about and is authentically you. So even if I ever sing, I have some. Yeah, and it's not great, but it's still slightly entertaining because I'm going to make it a performance or whatnot. So I mean, if you're not good at doing stand-up, or you're not good at anything that you're doing in your scope, I don't know if that matters as much as the fact that you can hold people's attention. I mean, a lot of people start Periscope and they do whatever it is that they say is their thing, and oh, God bless you.
Bless you.
I thought she snickered at my comment. She doesn't even know I'm talking to her. It's all good, don't worry about it. And then after a while, though, you have to be able to sustain an audience or new people that come in And that's usually by who you are or what you're able to do. And it may not be always what is you would consider your talent, but you may find a new talent. So, I mean, it's whatever you're really into at that point in the day. I mean, it may be talking about politics, it may be talking about TV or comedy or painting or, I mean, Amanda's actually a really good painter, so that helps.
Yeah.
I remember when I met her, I was like, oh, she sucks at painting. This is going to be the most awkward experience ever. So yeah, whatever you're passionate about and authentically is what you want to do at that time.
I love that. I really think you hit it on the head with it's your passion. It's your uniqueness. It's your key. You know, someone might be trying to figure out how to use Excel in the world. And that's a talent. It's a talent out in the marketplace. It's an asset. It's a skill set. So even though we have some amazing entertainers up here and we have performers and a lot of people have the stigma of talent being so focused in on that artistic side, everyone has a talent, and Periscope gives everyone the voice to pursue those talents, artistic or otherwise.
Pass the mic.
Pass the
the
mic.
bananas. All right, so I just wanted to say really quickly that to tag on to what he was saying, because it was very, 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 like, that was exactly what I was going to say, is like talent to me is being real. If you are real and you are showing people who you are on the inside, like, I'm very, very open to everybody about myself being bipolar and having borderline personality disorder, suffering from anxiety, depression, OCD, and I realized that I went on as a performer, and then all of a sudden I started this like mental health community of like people that don't scope, they watch scopes, and they don't have anywhere to share their stories, and they come into my scopes, and we have like, I have a no troll, like if you troll, you're done, you're out, and like it's a safety zone, and it's just, you know, so to me, like, that's a new talent, you know what I mean? That just kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. And, you know, people come in and they share their stories, and like, I've never told anybody this before. And they're coming into my scope and saying it, and everybody in there is being supportive, and they're like talking about, you know what I mean? Like talking about their issues with mental health and this and that. So it's something that I tried to hide for the longest time, and then through Periscope was the very first time that I just went public with it. And it works. Like, it's just like, be yourself. Everybody's gonna love it, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta be real.
Definitely. Definitely. Both you can hold on to that for now.
Pretty much anyone.
Hit it at the same time, that vulnerability.
Right.
Right?
Oh yeah, I get trolled. I get people asking if I took my meds because I'm acting crazy. You know, I get like serious, yeah, but I'm like, you know what? Did you take your meds? Because like, you're being really mean right now, so.
Pretty much anyone who's in this kind of field or likes to entertain people or it would put themselves in front of a camera. There's something there. We have some mental stuff that's not quite. You're better off just embracing it and using it, and you know, if you the rest of the time you can figure it out. But yeah, I think I agree with that completely. The more open you are about it.
Notice me.
Yeah, and then people who are watching, just to say like talent, like people who watch and they're always like, I would never scope because I think I'd be boring. I don't know what I would do. I don't think you know until you do it. You might be just someone who talks about whatever it is that you're doing at the time, but from another part of the country or the world.
Yes.
That might be really interesting. Like, I live in Los Angeles, so if you lived in another part of the world and you talked about like your garden each day, that would be interesting to me.
It's true. It's so true. And that's what Periscope's focus was on. Is about showing people what you're seeing right now through your own eyes, sharing your perspective. So I want to ask that for a question because I feel like this can be somewhat of a controversial subject. Periscope, all of you have your phones. I know you do, because if not, Dr. Cindy Brown, what is it, nomophobia? We'd all be threatened right now. So if you open up the Periscope app and you go to start a broadcast, who can tell me what you see? What is that question that Periscope asked you?
What do you want to broadcast?
What are you seeing now?
Oh, what are you seeing now? Whoops.
What are you seeing now? And if I want to start this broadcast right now, and I want to show me, because I'm about to showcase myself, right? That's my art, that's my passion. Can I do this and have my face on the screen? No. You can't. You have to do what, how many of you have done these things?
Oh my
You're
God.
in a mirror, you're lining
day.
up, you're trying to push that red button, or you sit here, you think you're live, you're like, okay, I'm there. Okay, here's my finger. Okay, let's see. Oh, no, I'm not live yet. Okay, let's try this again. No, I'm not live yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily built for us to showcase oneself. So what do you guys think about that? That we're kind of breaking the mold of what Periscope was intended to do with this by actually showcasing our talents, by turning the phone around on us a little bit to say, hey, I want to share this with you. Is that okay? And obviously it's successful. So, you know, what message do we have for Periscope about, you know, maybe this works too?
I mean, I feel like I got a little muscle by me just being able to do that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And it got really creative. Like, there's a way I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I got my mirror, and I'm like, I'm trying to glance to see if I can see myself. I can start the button. But, no, I actually think that it helps viewers see who you are from the gate if you do a picture of yourself first. Because it gets blurry anyways already. So it's hard if I'm trying to showcase New York, and they can't really see it anyway. So I feel like I actually think that would be awesome if they could change that. Because most of the time I do it myself.
Is it warranted? Is this a significant enough outlet for talent that makes just as much sense? That we're showing perspective, but sometimes the perspective is introspective.
Yeah.
Jason, I know that.
Yeah, I need
You're
to say
ready.
something. I'm ready. I see it as what do you see, but I think Kayvon and the rest of his team, they thought about it. There's an option to flip it. I mean, they built the app to, you're a broadcaster, live in the moment. They made it because they wanted to be on the ground first to show it. Yeah. So it starts out that way. If they didn't want us to showcase our talents, there wouldn't be a double tap to flip the screen.
Sure.
So I don't see it as a barrier or a limitation or something I have to look beyond. It's like, what do I want to show people on whatever camera I'm looking at? It's just an option. So I think that we should just take advantage of it.
That's great.
Well said.
Thanks.
Very nice. John, what do you think about it? I mean, you're showcasing talent, you're showcasing yourself, you're showcasing others.
Yeah, all the time. I think the possibilities on Periscope are endless, and in the first round of releasing this app, no one really knew what was going to happen. Right. And the fact that the Periscope team is so passionate, we hear all the time, content is king. It's clear that they support top talent on Periscope, and they do it through featuring performers and featuring really unique content. And it's that content that is going to propel Periscope to the next level. When people can tune in and see something that's unique and special and someone's life's work, I think that's really incredible. And the fact that this app gives us that capability is huge. So I don't think they saw it coming, but I definitely think that they embrace it 110%.
I'll be quick on this one. I think they just didn't want to see a million broadcasts with people's faces the entire time. It was basically like looking at like a really self-indulgent person's Instagram page. It would just be, it'd be like, I'm gonna make this face this week, and Snoochie face, and like, I think it's good that you, well, you would, because if it only looked at you, you would constantly start with like, so you put a hat on this week, or you more lipstick, I don't know. I think it's good, it makes you think a little bit what you want to start with for your broadcast, because sometimes when I'm ready to broadcast and I'm looking around my apartment or wherever I am, I'm like, oh, now I have to really, well, let's see. Yeah. I've done that door, my dog is good, he's been used. My feet, I do my feet sometimes. It's just, it makes it so it's not all these just someone's face over and over and over again. I mean, and you know what the mirror thing, I don't know if Dixie tried the mirror thing, but you always will try to quick.
It works.
Yeah. I like the idea of it gives you an option to start somewhere else, and then you reveal. It's almost like a show,
There you go.
Yeah.
That's true. You've opened the curtain.
Yeah, and then you always get that 10-second catch picture. Because it's 10 seconds later, and it's like that awkward image when you're turning the camera around, you look all distorted, and yeah.
I can hold it for like 20 seconds, and I'm like,
And you don't want to count because the audience, what is he doing?
I know.
3, 2, okay.
I think Alex Khan, I forget how to say his last name, sorry if I murdered that. Yeah, Khan. Yesterday he was saying how like people would just stare at their phone and like for awkward 30 seconds. I've been so guilty of that because I'm just like waiting. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. So I'm totally guilty of that.
That was one of the best tips that I got from him.
I was like, dang, I totally
he was like,
that.
initially in your 30 seconds, greet your replay viewers, greet your web viewers, like speak while people are pouring in, So we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
So each of you, you're very talented performers in your own right. But you've also, each of you, taken a huge interest in curating and acknowledging and blossoming talent on Periscope. And I don't know if it's because you saw how it worked for you or what your motivations are to do that, and you feel free to share on that. But do you ever feel a conflict? Because, you know, performers, we like the spotlight. We like to be on the stage, and this is the ultimate stage right now, right? The exposure is huge. So do you ever feel a conflict of periscoping yourself versus periscoping other talent? And how do you handle that?
For me, I am a voice coach, piano teacher, like just a general music teacher for kids, and I connect with my kids so much. Where are you guys going?
You got 5 more minutes.
So, you know, I teach, and I'm gonna let them walk out first because they're, you know, do your thing, it's all good. So I love what I do so much, and you know, teachers, let alone music teachers, I mean, we get paid shit, but you know, you do it because you love it, and I love seeing my kids growing, and they're, you know, they get their confidence, and they're all of a sudden like they're finding their thing. So like for me, I love showcasing my kids, my students. I don't have kids, but you know what I mean. Like I love, because and it's such a great thing because they're 12, 13, 14, so they can start this so early and get so much exposure. So I have my time that I do plenty of FaceTime with myself. I'm sure you guys see that, and but you know, like I feel really lucky, like you, like to be able to showcase talent is amazing, to be able to give people exposure. And on that note, Jon always showcases his talent before he does the whole show. I think Minnie Jen should start singing on Pass the Talent.
Woo.
Every single
Woo.
musical Pass the Talent event. I think she should. Because yeah, there is that, you know, like we all want that attention, but we want to share it too. So like, why not share it with you? You've shared it with all of us. Do you know what I mean?
Well, let me pair this question to Jon, because you're doing this with so great success. You know, maybe I need to learn a new business model.
No, I think you have it on the money. I mean, so we both have a similar type thing that we're doing, which is great, to showcase talent. How it came about for me, though, is, you know, here in New York, just starting the Periscope, I was like, okay, how can I really show people something unique? And I approached Josh Greenbaum, actually. I said, hey, here's what I'm thinking of doing on Periscope. Why don't we do some talent show? We'll organize something. We'll get some New York Periscopers involved. And then, you know, seeing the share functionality, realized that this could be so much more than that. And, you know, after seeing Periscope evolve and so many new talents emerging on the platform, I saw people not getting recognition when they're pretty damn good and talented.
Amazing.
You know, like unbelievable. The amount of people who have just embraced it and really got it. And so I wanted to try to, you know, embrace and foster this talent with the show. Competition-wise, do I see it as competitive? No, not at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I would love for people who have a massive audience to come and be a part of the show, because it makes it better for everyone. You know, we've had dozens of performers, and a lot of the reaction is, hey, we doubled our following. And I'm sure your performers experience the same thing. We doubled our following in 5 minutes of being on the show, which is huge. And the way I think this is going to go to the next level is by leveraging stars on YouTube and Vine, who already have a massive audience and have been at it for years on social media. And I'm trying to introduce a lot of those to Periscope, which has been pretty successful thus far. So the bigger the better, baby.
Right? Do you find that when you're starting the scope with your performance, because you have a huge following base, you were doing the street performances for so long before, do you find that that's actually fostering that environment of new followers for the talent? Because you are passing it from artist to artist, from you to the next artist, and now this is your spotlight, this is your exposure.
Sure. I mean, everyone benefits from it, you know, massively. And to be able to, you know, share the friends I've made on Periscope in the last few months with others is great. You know, their performance builds up everything I'm doing, so it's a win-win all around. It's an awesome experience.
I know you guys are all having so much comments. We only have probably 2 minutes at this point, and I want to make sure that the audience is engaged, okay? Because we are all about the audience and making sure that these individuals have a good time. So, do we have any questions for our panelists on how to showcase talents? Are you afraid to start? Yes?
My question is, a lot of you said that you want to use Periscope, you want to start from Periscope and then do other stuff. On stage or on television and have your own show. Isn't it okay just to have the Periscope show? Or do you want to move out of Periscope? I think as Periscope gets bigger and bigger, it could be that.
no,
So if you guys didn't hear the question, she's asking, there's a focus of taking this seed that's been planted on Periscope and moving it to other platforms, but is it okay to let that seed just continue to grow? I paraphrased it. It's the platform
Absolutely.
itself on Periscope.
Absolutely. And like I was mentioning before, I think Periscope gave me that platform. Like, when I was going for the reality show, I thought that was the platform. But then when I realized, hey, you know what, that didn't work out, you would look at it as a setback, but Periscope gave me that platform again, and then you started getting, in fact, because of Periscope, a talent agent came to me and stuff like that. So I believe in keeping it in Periscope because Periscope gave me the opportunity to that, another network didn't. So absolutely, I'm 100% on keeping it on Periscope, and especially the way it's growing, absolutely.
And
Should we get paid?
right.
Exactly.
And,
Amen.
and to speak on that, I mean, like, I've had so many people that have come into my scopes and been like, I've canceled cable, I've canceled Netflix, I've canceled everything. I watch Periscope. That's it. Okay? No, I know.
He's like, wait a minute.
But it's crazy, you know what I mean? Because people are watching it, so it's like it's the new reality TV show for everybody. Everybody can have their own show. So
I think you mentioned that yesterday. You said, and in fact, there's a thing that I read that Apple TV is actually even thinking of putting it on their, this is just, you didn't hear it from me if I'm not supposed to say that, but anyway, yeah, it's up. And so to me, that's crazy. So that's saying something right there that Apple TV is doing that, putting it next to Netflix.
oh my god.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Do you think basically
Yeah. So
you got paid?
yeah.
Pay the bill?
Getting paid is great. I grew up around my uncle. He's a veteran actor, 30 years. He's acted since 1966. I grew up around movie sets, and I met lots of famous people when I was younger, which inspired me to do this. But if you look at the entertainment industry, look at how many people, certain things have shelf lives. Okay, so if you can build a following on Periscope, and I would absolutely stay on Periscope, but if it opens up opportunities like a talent agent or a TV spot or a movie spot or anything like that, it gets you more exposure. So I think explore as many avenues as you can, but stick with what got you there. I mean, sorry to bring that up. Justin Bieber started on YouTube.
Yeah.
He started on YouTube, but there's a shelf life of people, and superstars. I mean, you got your Tom Cruise, your Jimmy Fallon. You have those people, and they just go, and they keep going. But a lot of people, they were huge on Periscope, and then they just faded out. I mean, the entertainment industry is just not predictable. It's fickle.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Artists, I want to thank you so much for participating in this panel today. I know you are so enthusiastic to ask more questions. You can stick around though, because if you want to see how this is done live time, thanks to David Polanco and Periscope, we have amazing artists that are about to perform here. We're just going to move around the stage for a hot second, and we can take this offline. I'm going to officially end my panel. I'm going to stay on time. But if you guys have some questions for these panelists as we set up the stage, please feel free to come down and ask them, and you know where to find them. We have
We are
Nicole
right
Lopez, we have PassTheBananas, Jason Stolken, Jon Jaques TV, and Lenny Jacobson. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.